The blue-skinned alien girl stared at Lily Mason with 6 purple eyes that blinked in different patterns. Her thin body, covered in shimmering scales, caught the light of the 2 moons overhead. They stood in the garden of the diplomatic compound, on planet Zerilia, where humans had established their first permanent settlement. My mother told me stories about you. Lily Mason, the alien girl named Kara, said, her voice like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. Her translator device hummed softly around. Her neck Lily felt her heart skip. The 25-year-old human ambassador assistant had arrived on Zerilia only 2 months ago. How could this alien know anything about her? Your kind saved her during the Great Hunger, when your ship first came. To our world, you were not there, but your people, your blood. Kara continued, reaching out with slender, 7-fingered hands. Lily remembered the stories from the academy. The first contact mission had indeed brought emergency supplies to Zerilia during a planetary famine 10 years ago. She had been just a teenager back on Earth when it happened. What was your mother's name? Lily asked, her curiosity burning brighter than her caution. Melora of the Southern Reefs. Kara answered. Her voice trembled with emotion. Our family owes yours a life debt according to our oldest customs. Lily knew of the life debt tradition among Zerilians. Their culture valued loyalty above all else. A life saved meant a life pledged in return, usually for 7 cycles of the 3rd moon. That was nearly 12 Earth years. I must serve you now, Kara declared, bowing low her head, tendrils brushing the purple grass at their feet. Lily shook her head. We don't do things that way on Earth. We help others because it's right, not to gain servants. Kara looked confused, her upper eyes blinking rapidly while her lower ones remained fixed on Lily. Then what is the purpose of saving lives if not to build bonds? Something about the alien's innocent question struck Lily deeply. It was the fundamental difference between their cultures. Humans helped because they could, while Zerilians helped to create connection. Maybe we can find a middle way, Lily suggested. You can teach me about your world, and I can teach you about mine. No. One serves anyone. Kara considered this, her head tilted at an angle that would break a human neck. That is acceptable but unusual. My mother would say humans always find the strange path. The diplomatic compound sat on the edge of a vast crystal forest, where trees made of transparent mineral formations grew toward the twin suns of the Zerilian system. Humans had chosen this location for its natural beauty and strategic position, near one of the major Zerilian settlements. Lily had joined the diplomatic mission fresh out of the Interstellar Relations Academy. Her specialty was xenobiology, but she had proven herself adaptable enough to assist Ambassador Carla Hayes with daily operations. The compound itself was a marvel of human engineering designed to blend with the natural landscape. Its curved walls made of locally sourced materials reflected the purples and blues of the surrounding environment, while providing all the comforts humans needed to survive on this alien world. That night, Lily sat with Kara in the compound's garden, watching the dance of nocturnal flying creatures that glowed like fireflies, but were the size of small birds. Tell me more about your mother, Lily said. The translator around her neck converted her words into the musical language of the Zerilians. Kara made a sound like gentle bells ringing. Melora was a healer of the water caste. When your ships came, she was attending the sick in the coastal villages. The hunger had taken many already. She herself was weak from giving her portions to the young. Lily listened as Kara described how human aid workers had found Melora collapsed in a healing hall surrounded by dying Zerilians. The humans brought medicine and food, saving hundreds of lives in that region, alone. She says a human female with hair like yours gave her water from her own container. Kara continued. That was the moment she knew your kind had good spirits, despite your strange appearance. Lily smiled. She was right about that. We try to help, when we can. It's part of our mission to build peaceful relationships with other intelligent species. Kara reached out one of her 7-fingered hands and gently touched Lily's arm. Human skin is so strange. Smooth like the inside of a shell, but warm, like the sands at midday. How do you feel anything through such thick covering? Lily laughed. We're the aliens here, remember? Your scales seem just as strange to me. Their conversation continued late into the night, Lily learning about Xyrillian customs. While Kara absorbed information about Earth and humans, she discovered that Xyrillians lived in caste systems based on their connection to natural elements. Water dwellers like Kara's family, crystal shapers who built their cities, air singers who maintained their oral history, and earth tenders who grew their food. The next morning, Lily woke to find a small crystal sculpture beside her bed. It resembled a human and Xyrillian standing side by side, their forms elegantly intertwined. The craftsmanship was stunning, with details so fine they seemed impossible to create by hand. A message on her communication pad explained it was a gift from Kara, a traditional offering to begin a bond of teaching. As they had agreed, Lily carried the sculpture to the main hall where the ambassador was reviewing reports from other human outposts across the planet. Ambassador Hayes looked up from her work as Lily entered. "A gift from your new friend?" she asked, nodding at the sculpture. "Yes," Lily said it carefully. On the desk, its beautiful inted Hayes examined it with appreciative eyes. "The Xyrillians are master craftspeople. This is exceptional work." She looked at Lily with serious eyes. "You should know the diplomatic corps is pleased you've made this connection. Local guides are invaluable, especially ones with personal motivation to help." Lily felt uncomfortable with the implication that she should use Kara's sense of obligation for human benefit. "That doesn't seem right, using their life debt tradition to our advantage," Hayes sighed. "It's not exploitation, Lily. It's cultural exchange. They value loyalty and connection above all else. By refusing to allow Kara to honor her tradition, you might cause more harm than good." Before Lily could respond, an alert chimed on the ambassador's communication device. A message from Earth Central Command appeared on the holographic display. Hayes read it quickly, then looked up at Lily with concern. "There's unusual activity at the edge of this solar system. Unidentified. Vessels larger than anything we've encountered before." She stood straightening her uniform. "We need to prepare for a possible first contact situation with another species." Lily felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. First contact protocols were drilled into every diplomat and support staff, but actual encounters with new species were rare. This would be only the third known intelligent species humans had met in their century of space exploration. Could it be Xyrillian ships returning from deep space, Lily asked. Hayes shook her head. "The Xyrillians don't have technology for interstellar travel yet. That's part of why our relationship works so well. We offer technological exchange. They provide natural resources and cultural insights." As the diplomatic team gathered for an emergency meeting, Lily found herself wishing Kara was there. The alien might have insights about other visitors to their system. The briefing room filled with the 12 human staff members of the compound, maps and sensor readings projected onto the central table showing the approaching vessels. Their design was unlike anything in human records, with black angular hulls that seemed to absorb rather than reflect light. "The vessels are on a direct course for Xyrillia," Ambassador Hayes explained. "Their configuration suggests a fleet rather than exploratory vessels. Their size and number indicate advanced technology. We need to prepare for all possibilities, including hostile intent." Lily raised her hand. "What about asking the Xyrillians? Do they have records of other visitors?" "Good thought." Lily Hayes nodded. "Find your friend Kara. See what she knows about their history with other species." As the meeting ended, the compounds, security protocols activated. Shields hummed to life around the perimeter. Weapon systems previously dormant came online. Standard procedure for unknown contact situations. Lily hurried to the communications center, sending a message to Kara, requesting an urgent meeting. To her surprise, Kara was already at the compound entrance, being held by security. "Let her in," Lily called, rushing to meet her friend. Kara looked agitated, her scales shifting colors from blue to a deep purple. Her eyes blinked in rapid patterns. "The sky vessels," she said without greeting. "They have returned." Lily felt a chill run down her spine. "What do you mean, returned? Who are they?" Kara gripped Lily's arm with surprising strength. "The harvesters. My people have stories, Song's warnings, they come when worlds grow, ripe. They take what they want and leave nothing. Lily, your people must hide. Your technology calls to them like a beacon. Lily led Kara to the briefing room where Ambassador Hayes and the senior staff listened with growing concern as the alien described the beings her people called harvesters, a species that traveled between stars taking resources and sometimes entire populations before moving on. They appeared in Xyrillian history, every few thousand years, always bringing destruction. They are why we build our cities within the crystal forests, Kara explained. The crystals hide us from their seeing machines. Hayes looked thoughtful. That explains why our sensors had trouble mapping population centers when we first arrived. Your cities are naturally shielded. Our oldest stories tell of sky people who helped fight the harvesters long ago. Kara continued. They had weapons of light and flying vessels smaller but faster than the harvester ships. The sky darkened as the harvester ships entered the atmosphere. They moved with frightening precision like predators who had done this countless times before. Their black hulls absorbed the sunlight, casting massive shadows over the crystal forests. Ambassador Hayes' voice remained calm as she directed the evacuation. All personnel gather essential equipment and medical supplies. We have 15 minutes to clear the compound. Lily helped Kara into one of the human environmental suits designed for emergency use by alien allies. The suit was too large for Kara's slender frame, but it would protect her if the harvesters deployed biological weapons as her stories suggested. Where will we go? Lily asked as they packed survival gear. Kara adjusted the translator. At her neck, the sacred caves beneath the singing forest. The crystal formations there block all sensing technology. It has hidden my people for generations. Hayes overheard and nodded decisively. Can you guide us there? Kara bobbed her head in agreement. My life debt demands I protect Lily, but I would help all humans regardless. You, our sky people, returned. The evacuation moved with practiced efficiency. The 30 humans at the compound loaded into 3 transport vehicles designed for off-road travel. Each carried weapons, scientific equipment, and supplies for 2 weeks bare minimum, but enough to survive until help arrived. Lily sat beside Kara in the lead transport. As they pulled away from the compound, Lily looked back, seeing the elegant structure that had been her home for 2 months. Its defensive shields glimmered like a soap bubble in the sunlight. The transport vibrated as it accelerated through the crystal forest. The trees here were unlike anything on Earth. Massive formations of naturally occurring crystal that had somehow evolved into plant-like structures. Their transparent trunks refracted light, creating rainbows that danced across the purple ground cover. They are beautiful, but dangerous, Kara said, noticing Lily's fascination. The crystals can cut through metal if you touch them wrong. Only the pathkeepers of my people can navigate safely. As if demonstrating her point, their Xyrillian guide directed the vehicles through turns that seemed random, but always kept them away from the sharper crystal formations. Their path wound deeper into the forest, away from the human settlement and known Xyrillian villages. The singing began suddenly, a haunting melody that seemed to come from the forest itself. The sound rose and fell like voices in a choir, but with tones no human could produce. What is that? Lily whispered. The forest sings when danger flies above. Kara explained. It warns all living things. The crystals vibrate with the passing of large objects. Through the canopy of crystal branches, Lily caught glimpses of the harvester ships. Their undersides opened, revealing smaller craft that dispersed in different directions. One seemed to be following their path. Hayes' voice came through the communication system. They've detected us evasive maneuvers. The transport lurched as the driver swerved between crystal trees. The singing grew louder, more urgent. Lily held onto her seat as they bounced over uneven terrain. Something hit the ground behind them, sending shards of crystal flying in all directions. The transport rocked with the impact. The driver cursed as she fought to maintain control. Kara leaned forward, speaking to the driver. Turn left at the split crystal ahead. There is a passage underground. The driver looked to Hayes for confirmation. The ambassador nodded sharply. Do as she says, The transport veered left, plunging through what appeared to be a solid wall of crystal, but was actually a cleverly disguised opening. The passage beyond was barely wide enough for the vehicle. Its wheels scraped against the wall, sending sparks flying. They emerged into a vast underground cavern where crystal formations glowed with bioluminescent organisms. The other two transports followed close behind their headlights, cutting through the dimness. "We should be safe here for now," Kara said. "The crystals mask our presence." Hayes ordered everyone to power down non-essential systems to minimize their energy signature. As the humans organized their temporary camp, Lily followed, Kara deeper into the cavern system. The walls here were covered with ancient paintings, primitive images showing bipedal figures fighting alongside Xyrillians against dark shapes descending from the sky. Some of the bipedal figures wielded what looked like weapons emitting beams of light. "These look like humans," Lily said, touching the wall gently. "These could be laser weapons." Kara nodded. "The old stories say the sky people had light sticks that could cut through harvester armor. They taught my ancestors to hide in the crystals and water caves." Lily studied the paintings with growing wonder. Could humans somehow have visited this planet thousands of years ago before recorded space travel? Official history stated that humans had achieved faster than light travel only 120 years ago, with the first interstellar colonies established 80 years ago. "How old are these paintings?" Lily asked. Kara made a trilling sound that the translator didn't convert, then said, "They are from the time of the Great Migration, when my people moved from the open plains to the crystal forests. The elders say that is 15,000 seasons ago." Ambassador Hayes approached, examining the paintings with intense interest. "This shouldn't be possible," she murmured. "Human archaeology has no evidence of space travel before the 22nd century, let alone contact with alien species." Kara seemed confused by their reaction. "The sky people are part of our oldest histories. They came in a great vessel that fell from the stars. They fought the harvesters with us, then lived among us until they became us, became you." Lily asked, "What do you mean?" "Some stayed when their ship could not be repaired," Kara explained. "They mated with my ancestors. Their blood mixed with ours. The waters remember everything." Before Hayes could question further, the ground trembled. A distant boom echoed through the caverns. Small crystals shook loose from the ceiling. "They are bombing the forest," Lieutenant Paula Wright reported, rushing into the chamber. "The sensors show multiple detonations near the compound. Are they looking for us?" Hayes asked. Wright shook her head. "They seem to be targeting all structures. Any sign of civilization, they destroyed the compound and are moving toward the nearest Xyrillian settlement." Kara made a sound of distress. "My home village lies in that direction. My mother, we need to warn them," Lily said. Hayes nodded decisively. "Right. Prepare a strike team. We can't engage directly, but we can help evacuate civilians." "Lily, since Kara trusts you, go with them. Her knowledge of the terrain will be valuable." Within minutes, Lily found herself in a smaller scout vehicle with Lieutenant Wright and 4 security personnel. All were armed with pulse rifles, standard issue for diplomatic protection teams. Kara sat beside Lily, giving directions through the crystal maze. The singing of the forest had changed, becoming a low, mournful tone that made Lily's skin crawl. "They mourn," Kara explained. "The crystals feel the death of living things as they approached the edge of the forest." Lily saw smoke rising from the direction of Kara's village. The harvester ships hovered above like massive insects, their undersides glowing with ominous red light. "We need to stay under crystal cover," Wright said. "The scouts show they have energy weapons targeting anything that moves in the open." Kara pointed to a narrow ravine. "There is a water path through there. It leads to the back of my village. The crystal reflections will hide." Our approach. Wright guided the vehicle into the ravine where a shallow stream ran between crystal banks. The water amplified the refractive properties of the crystals, creating visual distortions that would confuse most scanning technology. They abandoned the vehicle at the edge of the settlement, creeping forward on foot. Lily was shocked by what she saw. Xyrillian buildings constructed from living crystal were shattered. Fragments lay everywhere, glittering in the sunlight. Some buildings still stood, but many were reduced to rubble. Harvester drones the size of small cars hovered through the village. They appeared to be collecting samples, taking pieces of crystal building materials, plant life, and scanning for life forms. "Stay low," Wright whispered. "We need to find survivors and get out before those things detect us." Kara moved with surprising speed, slipping between crystal formations with practiced ease. Lily and the humans struggled to follow without cutting themselves on sharp edges. They found the first survivors hiding in a water cistern beneath a public building, a group of Xyrillian children with one elderly caretaker. Their scales had changed color to match the crystal, making them nearly invisible. Kara spoke to them in their native language. The translator picked up fragments. "Your mother taken, collectors took many adults. Resistance fought back. Some escaped to the deep caves." The elderly Xyrillian addressed Lily directly, its translator crackling with static. "The Sky People, return as promised. Our seers saw this day." "The waters remember," Wright interrupted. "We need to move now. More survivors to find Lily. Take these ones back to the ravine. Keep them hidden." For the next hour, they worked methodically through the village, finding small groups of Xyrillians hiding in crystal cellars, underwater chambers, and camouflaged shelters. The humans helped them escape to the ravine where their vehicle waited. Lily noticed that many of the survivors looked at the humans with a strange reverence. Some made gestures that appeared ritualistic, touching their head tendrils, then reaching toward the humans. "They believe you are the returned ones," Kara explained as they guided another group to safety. "The ancient defenders come, again when needed." Dawn came differently underground. The bioluminescent organisms growing on the cavern walls brightened gradually, creating a soft blue glow that mimicked morning light. The human and Xyrillian refugees prepared for their journey to the sacred pool. Supplies were distributed, weapons checked, and the injured assessed for travel. Lieutenant Wright and one of her security team had returned during the night. Their uniforms were torn and scorched, but they were alive. The third member of their team had not made it, Wright reported grimly. "The harvesters are methodical," she told Hayes. "They aren't just destroying, they're restudying everything. They take samples before they blast it. They have these collection drones that can extract materials without damaging them. It's like they're cataloging the whole planet." Hayes nodded. "This matches what Kara has told us. They assess worlds for complete harvesting." Her expression darkened. "We need to reach this memory pool. Kara believes it contains information about how the harvesters were defeated last time." The group set out with Kara leading the way. 30 humans and 23 Xyrillian survivors moved deeper into the cavern system. The tunnels narrowed in places, forcing them to crawl through tight passages, then opened into vast chambers where crystal formations towered like skyscrapers. Lily stayed near Kara, helping translate for the other humans. The wound on her arm had healed with surprising speed, thanks to Kara's treatment. Not even a scar remained. "The crystals grow more pure as we descend," Kara explained. "The oldest formations are at the deepest levels. They hold the strongest memories." Lily had noticed the changing nature of their surroundings. The crystals had shifted from transparent to faintly blue, then to a deeper azure that seemed to pulse with inner light. The singing that had been present in the forest was here too, but deeper, more resonant. She felt it in her chest rather than hearing it with her ears. "What are they singing about?" Lily asked. Kara tilted her head, listening. "They sing of the time before. The great joining when sky people and water people became one. The crystals remember everything that happens near them. Their song preserves history. As they traveled deeper, the Xyrillian survivors began to sing with the crystals. Their voices harmonized with the resonant tones, creating a symphony that echoed through the tunnels. The effect was both beautiful and unsettling. "They strengthen our path," Kara explained. "Their singing helps the crystals remember the way to the sacred pool. Some passages may have closed since the last pilgrimage. By midday, they had reached a vast underground lake. Its surface was perfectly still, reflecting the glowing crystals that hung from the cavern ceiling like stars. The water itself had a faint luminescence that pulsed in rhythm with the crystal song. "We must cross," Kara said. "There are boats hidden along the shore." The boats were unlike any Lily had seen before. crystal shells, shaped like leaves large enough to hold 4 people. They appeared delicate but proved remarkably sturdy as they loaded people and supplies. Wright tested one by stamping her foot hard on its surface. It didn't even flex, crystal grown over living. Wood Kara explained. Our crafters shape them with songs. It takes 50 cycles of the third moon to create one boat. They formed a flotilla of 12 boats pushing out onto the still lake. The surface remained undisturbed as they passed no ripples, formed around the crystal vessels. It was as if they floated just above the water rather than on it, in the center of the lake. The singing changed, became more intense. Lily felt it resonate in her bones. Ambassador Hayes, who sat in the same boat, looked equally affected. "What is happening?" Lily asked. "We crossed the memory current," Kara said. "The deepest part of the lake where the oldest memories flow. Those sensitive to the waters feel its power." Hayes gasped suddenly, her eyes widening. "I can see something. Images like a film playing in my mind." Kara nodded with satisfaction. "The waters show themselves to you." Sky people were always more receptive than most of my kind. That is why the joining was possible. Lily concentrated, staring into the depths below. Their boat shadows moved, images formed and dissolved. A great ship falling from the sky. People emerging from burning wreckage. Xyrillians, like but more primitive, helping the injured battles fought against dark ships. "It's like watching a movie of the past," Lily whispered. "These can't be my memories, not yours." Kara agreed. "The waters hold them. The memories of your ancestors who came before." The crystal boats act as conduits, allowing some humans to see. Not all the humans could see the images. Only about a third of them reported the visions. Those who did described similar scenes. A human spacecraft crashed on Xyrilia. First contact with the native population, alliance against invaders. The lake journey took hours. As they approached the far shore, Kara directed them to a narrow opening in the rock face, a cave within the cave. The boats glided through one by one, entering a winding channel where the water flowed slowly inward. The singing grew stronger here, not just from the crystals, but from the water itself. The sound vibrated through the boats, making speech difficult. The Xyrillians responded by singing louder, their voices matching the frequency perfectly. The channel opened suddenly into a circular chamber with a domed ceiling entirely, covered in blue crystal. The water formed a pool in the center, perfectly round with stepped stone edges leading down to the surface, like an ancient amphitheater, designed for water rather than performance. "This is the sacred pool," Kara announced, her voice reverent. "We have arrived." The humans and Xyrillians disembarked, carefully arranging their supplies at the edge of the chamber. Hayes organized security teams to guard the entrance while the rest explored the space. Lily examined the walls, finding more cave paintings here. These were more sophisticated than those they had seen before. Detailed images showing what clearly looked like humans in spacesuits working alongside Xyrillians to build structures. Some depicted battles with weapons that resembled energy beams firing at dark ship-shaped objects. "The images can't be coincidence," Hayes said, studying them. "These are too specific, too accurate to be imagination. This suggests actual contact between humans and Xyrillians, thousands of years ago." "But how?" Lily asked. "That would predate our recorded history of space travel by millennia." Kara approached the edge of the pool, kneeling to touch the water surface. "The waters will answer," she said. "Come join hands with me, as our ancestors did." Lily knelt beside her friend. Hayes joined them along with Wright and several other humans. The Xyrillians formed a circle around the pool, each placing one hand in the water and joining their other hand with those beside them. The moment Lily's fingers touched the water surface, she gasped. The liquid felt electrically charged, tingling against her skin, but not unpleasantly. Then the visions began. She saw through someone else's eyes, a spacecraft pilot. Emergency alarms blaring as the ship fell toward an unknown planet. The terror of uncontrolled descent. The decision to jettison escape pods. The crash. The perspective shifted. She was now someone else. One of the survivors emerging from a smoking escape pod, looking up at the alien sky with its twin suns. seeing the blue-skinned natives approaching with caution. First contact happening in desperation rather than with preparation. More images flowed faster now. The humans and Xyrillians learning to communicate. The discovery that both were fleeing. The same enemy, the harvesters, had chased the human ship from their colony world, destroying it, then following the escaping vessel to Xyrillia. Lily saw through many eyes across what seemed like years. Humans teaching Xyrillians about their technology. Xyrillians showing humans how to sing to the crystals and waters, how to hide from harvester sensors. The joining of forces to fight back using crystal refraction to enhance weapon effects. The final vision was the most intense humans and Xyrillians, standing together at this very pool, hands joined in water, performing some kind of ritual that sent a massive pulse of energy outward. The harvester ships falling from the sky disabled. When Lily pulled her hand from the water, she was gasping, her heart raced as if she'd run a marathon around the pool. Others were having similar reactions, some crying, some laughing in disbelief. It was real, Hayes whispered. Her face showed the shock of revelation. They were us humans from Colony 7 based on their uniform insignia. But that colony wasn't established until the late 22nd century. How could they be here thousands of years ago? Kara looked at them with all 6 eyes blinking in sequence. Now you understand. The sky people were yours. The joining was real. Their blood flows in my people. That is why I recognized you. Lily Mason. Your genetic pattern matches one who stayed. The Waters. Remember Wright, who had also shared the vision, looked thoughtful. Time dilation, she suggested. A wormhole. Malfunction. The Colony 7 expedition went missing 200 years ago from our perspective. No trace of their ship was ever found. Hayes nodded slowly. Relativistic effects or some kind of space-time anomaly could explain it. They didn't just travel through space but time as well. Arriving here thousands of years in the past, but that doesn't explain how they defeated the harvesters. Lily said, we saw a ritual of some kind. An energy pulse. Kara rose, walking to the far side of the chamber, where a crystal formation jutted from the wall unlike the others. This one was deep purple rather than blue, shaped like a pointed spire. The focus crystal, she explained. This is what they used to amplify the combined energies of humans and Xyrillians. The joining of minds through water and crystal created a resonance wave that disabled harvester technology. The journey back to the surface took 2 days. A sense of cautious hope filled both humans and Xyrillians as they made their way through the crystal caves. The singing of the underground world had changed, becoming triumphant, echoing their victory rites. Scanner confirmed what they all hoped: the harvester ships had crashed across Xyrillia. Their systems completely disabled by the crystal resonance wave. The smaller vessels had fallen like dead insects from the sky. The larger motherships had managed emergency landings but showed no signs of reactivation. We should proceed with caution, Hayes warned as they approached the exit tunnels. We don't know if the harvesters themselves survived or what capabilities they retain. Kara, who had become the unofficial leader of the Xyrillian survivors, nodded in agreement. The old stories say the harvesters rarely leave their ships. They use drones and machines to collect what they want, but they are cunning. If threatened, they become more dangerous. The group emerged from the caves into the crystal forest. The damage from the harvester attack was evident. Blackened areas where energy weapons had scorched the ground. Shattered crystal trees, their remains glittering in the sunlight. But life continued. Small flying creatures moved among the intact formations. Xyrillian plants had already begun growing in the damaged areas. Most significant were the harvester ships. 3 of the smaller vessels had crashed within view of their exit point. Their black hulls now cracked open like eggs. Dark smoke still rose from their interiors. Wright organized scouting parties to investigate the crash sites. Approaching with caution, the human security teams found the harvester vessels abandoned. No bodies, no survivors, just empty control systems and collection equipment. They evacuated before impact. Wright reported returning to the main group. They must have some kind of escape pods or personal transport system. Hayes frowned. That means they're still out there. Possibly. Regrouping, Kara studied the crashed ships with all 6 eyes narrowed. The crystals have wounded their technology, not their bodies. We must find them before they adapt. The group made their way toward the human diplomatic compound, hoping to re-establish communications with Earth. A pillar of smoke in the distance marked its location. The once elegant structure had been reduced to ruins. The defense shields had failed under the Harvester attack, leaving the buildings exposed to energy weapons. Only, the communication array remained partially intact. Hayes directed her team to salvage what they could. "We need to boost our distress signal," she explained. The disruption from the crystal resonance may have affected our earlier transmissions. As the humans worked to repair the communication systems, Lily and Kara led a team to search for survivors in the nearby Xyrillian settlement. The damage here was more selective. Certain buildings had been completely destroyed while others remained untouched. "They take what interests them and burn the rest," Kara said, examining the pattern. "The harvesters have specific targets, certain crystals, metals, biological samples. Their search found few survivors. Most of the settlement had fled to the caves when the attack began. Those who remained were hiding in underwater chambers or crystal root cellars. Melora Kara's mother was among those found alive. The reunion between mother and daughter was emotional, both singing in their native language too fast for the translators. To keep up, Melora examined Lily with interest, her head tendrils waving gently. "Your blood spoke to my daughter," she said. The old connection remained strong. Lily showed Melora the small cut on her palm where she had contributed blood to the ritual. The elder Xyrillian touched it with one slender finger. The wound immediately closed completely. "Healed watercasters have always served as healers," Melora explained. "But the gift is stronger in those with joined blood." The human healing speed combined with our water control as they helped the survivors gather essentials. Lily's communication device activated. Hayes' voice coming through with urgency. "Mason, get back to the compound immediately. We've detected movement at one of the larger crash sites." Lily and Kara returned at a run, finding the humans gathered around a makeshift command center. Salvage screens showed scanner readings of a massive Harvester mothership that had crash-landed 10 kilometers to the north. "They've established some kind of operational base," Wright explained. "The scanner shows energy signatures consistent with repair activities." Hayes' face was grim. "They retrying to get their systems back online. If they succeed, they could call for reinforcements or resume their attack in no I we need to strike now," Wright urged. "While they vulnerable." The ambassador considered the options. "We have limited weapons, insufficient to mount a direct assault on a mothership, even a damaged one." Kara, who had been conferring with the other Xyrillians, stepped forward. "The crystal resonance affected their technology, but the effect is temporary. The protective harmonics are already fading. We must perform the ritual again, but stronger." "More focused, is that possible?" Lily asked. "We barely managed to activate it the first time." Melora joined the conversation. "Now that the waters have awakened, the ritual will be easier. But we need a focus point closer to the Harvester ship. The sacred pool is too far away." The Xyrillians discussed among themselves. Then Kara turned to Hayes. "There is another place. A smaller memory pool in the crystal heart near the crash site. The waters there are not as ancient, but they connect to the same network." Wright checked her scanner. "The location Kara described is less than a kilometer from the Harvester base. That puts any team we send at extreme risk. It's our only option." Hayes decided we need a small strike team, fast and mobile enough to reach the crystal heart, perform the ritual, and escape before the Harvesters can respond. Volunteers were quickly selected. 6 humans including Lily and Wright, 5 Xyrillians including Kara and surprisingly her mother Melora. The team equipped themselves with the remaining functional weapon salvage communication devices and emergency supplies. The strike team departed at dusk using the crystal forest for cover. As they moved toward the Harvester crash site, the devastation became more severe. Entire sections of forest had been vaporized, leaving nothing but glass, like ground where the sand had melted under energy weapons. Harvester drones still operated in the area. Moving with mechanical precision, they collected samples from the environment. Some carried pieces of crystal trees, others gathered soil or plant Specimens none seem to be searching for survivors. We must avoid their sensors. Kara whispered. The drones will alert the main ship if they detect us. The team moved carefully using the refractive properties of the crystals to mask their heat signatures, and Movement Right had adapted their equipment based on what they had learned, making them nearly invisible to standard detection methods. As they drew closer to the crystal heart, they began to hear a new sound, different from the singing of the Yori. Forest. This was a mechanical whine punctuated by rhythmic clanking. The harvesters repairing their ship, the crystal heart itself was breathtaking. A massive formation where hundreds of crystal trees had grown together, creating a cathedral-like space. Their trunks merged into columns, their branches forming natural arches overhead. In the center, a small pool of water glowed with the same blue luminescence they had seen in the sacred pool. Beautiful Right breathed, then immediately returned to tactical concerns. We need to secure the perimeter. The team spread out, establishing observation points and early warning systems. The harvester ship was visible through the crystal trees, its black hull reflecting nothing, creating the impression of a void in space. The damage was extensive. One section had been completely torn open, exposing the interior. Harvester drones moved in and out carrying materials. For the first time, they caught glimpses of the harvesters themselves. Tall, spindly, figures with multiple limbs moving with mechanical precision. Their bodies appeared to be part biological, part technological, with black exoskeletons covering what might once have been organic forms. Kara hissed, seeing them, the takers of life. They were once like us before they chose to become machines. Melora prepared the ritual site, arranging smaller crystals around the pool in a specific pattern. The humans helped carry the larger formations, following her instructions precisely. Every placement seemed to matter, the arrangement creating a harmonic structure that amplified the pool's energy. As they worked, Wright kept watch. The harvester activity was increasing. More drones deployed from the ship. Some began moving in patterns, suggesting a search grid. They know we're here, Wright warned. They're scanning for us. The crystal cover won't hide us much longer. Hurry, Lily urged. Melora and Kara began the ritual song, their voices joined by the other Xyrillians. The crystals around the pool began to resonate, their surfaces vibrating with the harmonics. The water responded, glowing brighter, pulsing with the rhythm. The humans joined hands around the pool as instructed, focusing their thoughts on protection and unity. Lily felt the now familiar tingle as the water responded to their presence, but something was missing. The energy built more slowly than before. It's not enough, Melora said between verses. The connection is weaker here. The waters are younger, with fewer memories. Kara looked at Lily, her eyes blinking in the pattern that indicated urgent decision. The joined blood must flow again, but more than before. Without hesitation, Lily drew her knife, cutting deeper into her palm. The pain was sharp, but she ignored it, allowing her blood to drip into the pool. Kara did the same, her blue-tinged blood mixing with Lily's red, creating purple swirls in the water. Lily opened her eyes to blue sky, the twin suns of Xyrillia shining overhead. She lay on a bed of soft moss surrounded by crystal formations that caught the sunlight, creating rainbows across her body. For a moment she thought she might be dead, but the pain in her side, though dulled, confirmed she was very much alive. You returned to us, a familiar voice said. Turning her head, Lily saw Kara sitting nearby. The Xyrillian looked tired, her scales slightly dulled from exhaustion, but her 6 eyes brightened, seeing Lily awake. What happened? Lily asked. Her voice was rough from disuse. You nearly joined the waters. Kara replied, You lost much blood. The crystal shard damaged your internal organs. Melora and the other watercasters worked for 2 days to heal. Lily tried to sit up, wincing as pain flared in her side. Kara moved quickly, supporting her. 2 days, she echoed. The harvesters. Defeated, Kara assured her. The crystal resonance spread through their network, disabling all their technology across the planet. The surviving harvesters have retreated. Those too damaged to flee have been contained with Kara's help. Lily managed to stand, taking in her surroundings. They were in a clearing within the crystal forest, near enough to the diplomatic compound to see its damaged structures but far enough to be surrounded by undamaged crystal trees. A makeshift recovery area had been established. Several humans and Xyrillians rested on similar moss beds, some with visible injuries being treated by Xyrillian healers. Ambassador Hayes approached, seeing Lily awake. Her uniform was torn and dirty, but she carried herself with the same dignity as always. "Good to see you up, Mason," she said. "We were concerned." Lily nodded toward the others injured. "How many did we lose?" Hayes' expression sobered. 7 humans, 3 Xyrillians. Their sacrifice ensured the survival of both our peoples. She handed Lily a water container. "Your actions at the Crystal Heart were decisive. Using the harvester to create a direct connection to their network was brilliant." Lily drank gratefully. The water tasted different, sweeter somehow, with a mineral tang that seemed to energize her. "It was instinct," she admitted. "I remembered what Kara said about the waters connecting everything. The harvester was part of their network." So Kara made a trilling sound of agreement. The waters transformed the harvester's corruption. They used its connection to send the resonance directly to all their ships. A loud rumbling overhead drew their attention. A large ship breaking through the atmosphere, but this was no harvester vessel. Its sleek silver hull bore the insignia of the Earth Fleet. The distress call had finally brought reinforcement. 3 days later, Lily stood with Kara at the edge of the diplomatic compound, watching the reconstruction efforts. Earth Fleet personnel worked alongside Xyrillians, clearing debris and salvaging equipment. The human relief ships had brought supplies, medical teams, and security forces. More importantly, they had brought scientists eager to understand what had happened, particularly the impossible connection between humans and Xyrillians separated by thousands of years. Dr. Amanda Wright, chief xenobiologist of the Earth Fleet Research Division, reviewed the genetic samples with amazement. "The markers are unmistakable," she told Hayes, Lily, and the gathered team. "These Xyrillians carry human DNA approximately 15,000 years old based on mutation rates, and not just any human DNA. The genome matches." Colony 7 settlers Wright displayed holographic models showing the genetic overlap. The evidence was undeniable. The lost Colony 7 expedition had somehow traveled not just through space but time, ending up thousands of years in Xyrilius past. "The implications are staggering," Hayes said, looking at the data. "Their settlement here created a stable time loop. The human genetic influence strengthened Xyrillian resistance to certain diseases. Their presence warned the ancient Xyrillians about the May harvester threat, helping them develop defenses, and those defenses saved us." Lily added, "The crystal resonance technology, the water memory pools, all of it existed because humans helped create it millennia ago." Kara, who had been listening quietly, spoke. "Up the waters remember everything," she said. "This is why my people recognized yours when you returned. The old stories were not myths but history preserved." Wright continued analyzing the data. "We found something else," she said. "The genetic comparison shows another pattern. Specific humans have stronger genetic resonance with specific Xyrillian bloodlines, almost like the genetics were seeking reconnection across time." She turned to Lily. "Your DNA. Mason shows a 97% resonance pattern with Kara's family line, the highest we've measured. The connection you felt, the recognition wasn't coincidence. It was genetic memory." Lily looked at Kara with new understanding. Their friendship, their immediate bond had been written in their very cells. The life debt tradition suddenly made more sense. A cultural practice evolved to preserve and strengthen genetic connections across generations. That night, a ceremony was held in the Crystal Forest. Both humans and Xyrillians gathered to honor those lost and celebrate their shared victory. The Xyrillian elders led traditional songs that made the crystals glow and vibrate. The humans contributed their own music, creating a harmony that seemed to please the forest itself. Lily sat with Kara watching. The celebration. Ambassador Hayes was deep in conversation with the Xyrillian leaders, negotiating a new treaty, one that acknowledged their shared history and genetic heritage. "What happens now?" Lily asked. Kara blinked her eyes in sequence. "The pattern. indicating contemplation. The waters have awakened. The old knowledge returns. My people remember what we once were, what we can be again with our sky brothers and sisters. The scientific teams had already begun studying the crystal resonance technology, the water memory pools, the healing techniques of the Zerillian water caste. These discoveries would revolutionize human understanding of energy, psychic connection, and possibly even time itself. Lieutenant Wright joined them carrying 3 cups of a glowing blue liquid. A Zerillian celebration drink, she explained. The watercasters say it helps form bonds between those who share it. They each took a cup. The liquid tingled pleasantly on Lily's tongue, tasting of something between mint and starlight, if such a thing were possible. To new beginnings, Wright said, raising her cup. And old connections, Kara added. The 3 of them drank together. As the liquid warmed her body, Lily felt a subtle awareness forming. She could sense Kara's presence more clearly, as if a channel had opened between their minds. Not telepathy exactly, but a deeper awareness, a connection that transcended ordinary perception. The waters connect all things. Kara explained, seeing Lily's expression. The crystal resonance enhances the effect. For those with compatible genetics, the connection becomes stronger. Wright looked between them with scientific curiosity. You can feel each other? She asked. Lily nodded. It is like knowing she's there. Even with my eyes closed, I could point to her exact location. The connection fades with distance, Kara said, but never completely. For those with strong resonance, the bond remains across worlds. 1 week later, the diplomatic compound had been partially rebuilt. Earth fleet ships remained in orbit, monitoring for any return of the harvesters. The scientific exchange between humans and Zerillians had accelerated with new understanding of their shared history. Lily found Ambassador Hayes in the newly constructed communications center reviewing reports. The ambassador looked up as she entered. I've been expecting you, Mason. Your transfer request. Lily nodded. I want to stay. Work with the scientific team studying the crystal technology and Zerillian genetic history. Hayes set down her tablet. I thought you might. The connection you formed with Kara and her people is unique. You're one of the few humans who can sense the crystal resonance without training. It's more than that. Lily admitted. This place, these people. There's a belonging here. I can't explain. Hayes smiled slightly. The genetic memory, perhaps, or simply finding where you fit in the universe. She pushed a document across the table. Your new assignment. Chief Liaison between Earth Fleet Scientific Division and the Zerillian Crystal. Guild effective immediately. Lily took the document, surprised by the promotion. I don't know what to say. Hayes' expression turned serious. Say you'll be careful. The discovery of time-displaced human DNA combined with the crystal resonance technology has attracted attention beyond scientific circles. Some see weapons potential, others see profit. I need someone I can trust to ensure this knowledge is used properly. Lily understood the responsibility. Earth history was filled with examples of advanced technology misused. The crystal resonance could disable entire fleets if weaponized. The water memory could potentially access information across time. Those possibilities in the wrong hands could be devastating. I understand, Lily promised. This isn't just about scientific discovery. It's about protecting both our peoples. Later that day, Lily found Kara at the Crystal Heart. The site of their final battle against the harvesters had been transformed. The shattered crystals removed new growth already, emerging from the nutrient-rich soil. The small pool at the center still glowed with blue light, seemingly unchanged by recent events. Kara sat beside the pool, her hands trailing in the water. She looked up as Lily approached, her scales shifting to a brighter blue indicating pleasure. You have decided to stay, she said. It wasn't a question. The bond between them made such things known. Lily sat beside her friend, dipping her own fingers into the cool water. Yes. As a scientific liaison, I'll be working with your Crystal Guild.